than the other sneakers that the company sells.
Yeah, man.
And then we get somebody that's smart, like Kanye, that figures this out and puts the flip on it.
Right.
I want all my clothes ripped up to look like homeless clothes, and I want all of them to be in trash bags in the middle of the store.
Right.
And then you watch people shop for ripped up clothes, pay thousands of dollars for clothes they're taking out of trash bags, and nobody looks and says, I can see what he's doing. You got people running around paying thousands of dollars for it and not seeing that he just put the flip on it.
Right.
Right in your face for you to see it. He like, because him being in the place that he in, he can't just say to my community, look at this. So he doesn't. He does it in a big ass way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The people were shopping out just like you would have a clothing rack in the store. He had all of his clothes put in trash bags.
All right.
People were paying thousands and thousands of dollars for them. Then he put a Confederate flag on it. It's the double flip. Nobody sat back and was like, "This boy, he on to something here," and it made him what? He made almost a billionaire. He was a billionaire. Then he started talking about taking that money and providing free energy. That's when they came at him.
No, you can't have that.
Right, because see, he's not continuing with the whole buy this product.
Shenanigans.
Right, he's bringing it back to something that's real.
Right.
Get some land. Okay, I'm gonna have this city. Free energy. Everybody should have free energy. That's one of the biggest things that'll get you murked in this country is talking about free energy. Right? I don't mean no harm, but you know. And it ain't a color thing, it ain't a race thing, it ain't none of that. From the Teslas on down, you cannot say free energy and think you gonna stay around here.
Yeah.
Well, we just said it, so
I didn't say it.
We can say it. We can say it, but don't mean it's about to happen.
no, I mean, you know,
we can say it, but it's when you got the power to do it.
Yeah,
When you
yeah.
start, it's that energy, that currency. Like somebody like Michael Jackson,
So-
if he was talking it, then that's a reason. You know, we the little guys just right now. We ain't gonna stay that way, but you know.
I mean, I can dig it. I see where you're coming from. So check this out, right? So like, do we need to reintegrate, you know, our standpoint on, you know, media output?
What do you mean by reintegrate?
Well, when I say
standpoint?
reintegrate our views on how media helps or, you know, doesn't help, you know, within our community based on the things that we've learned. I mean, I see a lot of different shorts and stuff like that on Facebook, and you know, people say a lot of different things through that outlet about, hey man, you know, I think the last one I saw was like, he was talking about like insurance, right? And I was having a discussion with it might have been with one of you brothers, right? And you know, car insurance and stuff is mandatory. Health insurance is mandatory.
Right.
Renter's insurance is mandatory, but like not life insurance,
Right.
right? But like, you know, you see all the, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, right? Pushing you to go and get those things, right? So like, you know, based on the knowledge that we've accrued over time about what can work, what we can utilize to leverage a positive rise in consciousness in our community, can we or should we take that knowledge and reintegrate it into, you know, how we utilize media going forward in the community?
I always start off with the standpoint. It's where a person's consciousness is at, where their awareness is at, and a lot of times I would say, and I'm including myself. You see this in India. I heard Sadhguru say this one time. In it was traditional to where families would get the child to learn about self.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And in the West, it's not so.
Right.
It's kind of like you're on your own trying to figure it out, or somebody's telling you you're gonna be this. This is what you're gonna do because I was this, and your grandfather or your grandmother or whatever the case may be before us was this. So it's like this is what you're gonna be, or you feel pressured into that's what I need to be. So it's actually you gotta get back to the basics as far as how do you teach someone to know self, to learn self from a child on up.
One solution that I would give, I think we should normalize spending time with yourself.
It's not only just with yourself; it's with your children.
No, I'm with you.
No, I'm agreeing. I'm adding to the thought. Yes, that's one.
Yeah.
But if you have children,
yeah.
A lot of people, it could be valid an excuse, but well, I don't have time. I'm working. The school should, or the school's gonna do what the school's gonna do.
Right.
But what I learned through the COVID, it opened the doors or it opened the eyes to a lot of things that are possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to time. Because when schools were shut down, people made time to reevaluate the situation. And of course, there's pros and cons with that, leaving your child home or whatever comes with it. But it shows that there's a possibility to take that time and utilize it to develop and have a hands-on in development.
I agree. And I watched, it's 2023 now. I think the hypersensitivity to COVID, I think it started diminishing maybe mid 2022.
Somewhere
is that a fairly accurate somewhere around there, right? And then it's a fast forward back into what was,
or the attempt to,
right? So like the hamster wheel is like we back in the cycle of things. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get it, right? But to the point that you made just a few minutes ago, right? We proved that time is only a small thing in the grand scheme of maneuvers. You know what I'm saying? We make time for what we want to make time for.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And, if I take that concept right there, right, I'm going to ask a question. If I take that concept, how has media or entertainment affected how we associate with that concept? Like, I don't have time. I got to go to work. I got to go do this. You know what I mean? I don't have time for development. I don't have time for self-development. I don't have time for family development. You know what I'm saying? But I have time for the development externally in all the other places that I attach myself to.
Right.
You said, how does media?
Well, just like we was talking about, it's the products. So you got to get the new iPhone.
I mean,
you got to get the new computer. You got to get the top-notch clothing line. So they put this out so it makes you not want to stay home with the child. So that makes you go, I got to go out here and get this paper.
It doesn't make you do anything. You choose to.
Well, you choose, right?
Right.
You choose
You
to.
feel that way. But
Right.
usually you're buying that product for the child.
But for what?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
I mean, you could say that, but when your kid is asking you for something, you can explain and explain and explain.
They still
But
want
you're like swimming against the currents of the Bengala. It's still a drop. That force that we're talking about is a powerful force. They spend billions of dollars a year to affect our children. Now, we can be the teachers and we can run the household and we can control what's going on in there. But we still got that child that leaves the household, goes into school, sees the other kids with the this and the other kids with that. So if it doesn't start from really young, they're going to lose it because they're still going to venture off, but they'll come back into it in their adulthood. And that's really the grand plan.
What's the grand plan? That
For your child, man or woman, to return to your ways.
okay.
you want them to stay with your ways, but they still their own individual. They
have their own.
So they're gonna find out. But if you put that foundation there, they'll return back to it when it really matters. I mean, all of us, I guarantee you, are products of that right there. Because we didn't went out there. I didn't have an example.
But because of media, though?
No. Media is the opposite end. That's the end that you're fighting against. The television. Okay, I'm going to give you a perfect example. Do you have State Farm?
No, I do not.
Okay, how did you remember that catch slogan like you did?
I mean, you see it all the time.
It's there.
And it's programmed.
And it's not something that's your everyday focus, your everyday life. But all of us right now can even hear the tone that it's sung in the commercial. And we're adults that somewhat got our consciousness. Now think about the baby. The baby is being manipulated all the time with that exact same thing. That's why the little girls are walking around singing these promiscuous songs, don't really know what's going on with it, why the young brothers or the little boys are acting like they got guns in it. That's the programming. They know that's the programming. Now, we as the parents have no example of that in our household. But if we don't think our babies will venture out into that, more than likely they will come back from that. But it's out there where they are. You understand what I'm saying? Where we are, we're right in it. We just some, what percentage of the community?
I'm built different.
Right.
Let me give you another situation, right? When I saw a video of a young, actually a little baby, wasn't that old? She's singing a song from the 70s.
Right.
And know the words. And I was blown away. I was like, man, how did she know that song like that? Mm-hmm. This is not her era.
Right.
But she knows this song.
Right.
So somewhere in there, she I don't want to say programmed to sing it, but she's heard it so much.
Right.
Now she can word it off just like that.
Right.
So just imagine if she wasn't listening to that or listening to the State Farm theme song, she probably can run it.
Right.
Or listening to Cardi B song,
right,
she can run it.
Right.
And any other child can run these songs. Me, I can't even run some of these songs they sing. Right. I can't. But if you get one of these little young cats out here, they can run that song like it ain't nothing.
Right. Right.
And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about influencing a child.
Right.
Once they go out, because once they go out, they have to experience what they put out there.
Right. They got a foundation.
They have to do that until they come back to foundation.
Right.
Thinking or teachings that come from us.
Right. That's why you do it. Right.
But you get what I'm saying now, I don't.
I got you.
But it was sweet though. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm telling you, she blew my mind with that one, bro. Right. I was like, wow.
It's interesting.
What's that thought?
It's I just know how I grew up. And it's things that I wanted. It's a lot of things that I wanted. And just as much as a lot of things I didn't get. Right. Because my mother, she told me no.
Right.
And then she gave me a strong no. And the more my wants got, the stronger the no got. Till I started feeling the no.
Right.
So it's like I hear certain points and I'm not disagreeing. I guess it's the pendulum swings in either direction. But you are gonna experience whatever you experience when you go out there. That's a given. At the same time, it's a lot of foundational principles that are put in a person, and it's still a choice. You know what I'm saying? It's things that get programmed in your mind, certain songs or certain tunes. I still do it to this day. I might be just sitting here and then I just bust out with some random song. Like, where did that come from? But, I feel like it's a lot of kowtowing to children in this day and time. And it's not good, it's not bad. It's it's a lot more than I remember.